Hi friends, Robin here with Mattman and Robin. Welcome to the channel where I like to encourage, inspire, and include you in packing Operation Christmas Child Shoeboxes and now bringing you along on our adoption journey. In case you missed it in the last video, you had to wait till the very end. I made an announcement that Matt and I are adopting. We've told our family, and so now we can tell you, and I am so excited. Thank you guys so much for the wonderful comments you left in the last video. I'm still getting around to commenting back on all of those and reaching out to you and thanking you. But you guys gave me permission to include our adoption journey on the channel, and so I just kind of wanted to give you a little bit more information because literally all I said was that we're adopting. So, and it's funny, like this channel, I love it. I love you guys. I love being best friends with you, but I actually started this channel over 2 years ago. I sat down on my floor and made a horrible video with horrible lighting, and I was so sad and depressed, and it's awful. Don't watch it. Let me just summarize for you. It was 2 years ago, and we were starting our infertility journey. And I was gonna document it and tell everybody about everything, and then life just kind of got crazy and I didn't do it. So this channel is kind of coming full circle. I got really into OCC, and it kind of brought me out of that little funk I was in, and I made great friends with you. And so now I'm bringing it back around, and I'm going to intersperse, I guess, is that a word? I make words up here all the time. I'm going to include little bits of our journey along with OCC boxes. So don't worry, they'll still be OCC because in all honesty, my OCC room has to decrease a lot. So I have to do lots of videos to get all the stuff packed in boxes and off to the processing center so that we have room for a kiddo, an actual physical room. So I kind of wanted to explain a little bit about what we're doing in adoption and what our next steps are and where we're going. So there's lots of different kinds of adoption. That could be a whole nother video all on its own, the different styles and ways to adopt. Our agency that we've selected, which I don't think we're going to say which agency that is. Maybe later after everything's finalized, we might announce it then. I just don't want I don't know. I don't want to convolute it. So our agency does 3 different types of adoptions. There is domestic infant adoption program, where you would be make a profile, and a biological mother would select you to adopt her child. That's one of the programs they have. Another program that they have is international adoption, and their specific partners you could adopt through China, Taiwan, or Colombia, which makes me think of Kayla. Hi, Kayla, if you're watching. And then the third program that they have is for adopting waiting children through the state, domestic children through the state. And that's the kind of adoption that we're doing for a lot of reasons. Again, that could be a whole nother video. I just wanted to give a short update that what we are doing is adopting children that are currently in the foster care system where their parental rights have been terminated, and now they are waiting for a forever family, just like we are waiting for them. So a few statistics here, which are kind of sad. There are 400,000 children in the foster care system in the United States alone. 400,000. Guys, that is a large city of children. Like, if you think about it in like population wise, that is a lot of children. 100,000 of those kids, 100,000 are waiting for forever families. Like, it gives me goosebumps. It makes me want to cry because one of those 100,000, that's my baby. They're out there. Anyway, we're in Texas, and if you know, you know. So the numbers in Texas are a little bit different. There are 30,000 kids in foster care, which is an insane amount. Like, that's so many kids. 8,000 of them are currently waiting for adoption. And just in our region, which is encompasses all of the Dallas area and a few of the connecting counties. So it's not a huge region. It's containable. We're in Region 3, and if you're in Texas and you're knowledgeable and you're curious, there are about 1,200 children waiting. So those numbers are sad, but important because no one has mentioned this to us, but Texas alone is a big state, and we have subcultures in Texas, like not just Texan, but there's like different regions, and different regions have different foods and different accents and different ecological systems and the way the weather works. It's crazy. We have mountains and beaches and deserts and forests and everything in between. So I grew up in West Texas, which is actually in the northern part of the Panhandle because Texas is weird. And I now live in North Texas, which is actually East Texas. Who gave these regions names? I don't know. But as an adult, transplanting from the Panhandle region, which is exactly what you think of if you're not from Texas and you think Texas, you think like prairie lands and cactus and plateaus and, things that like the Grand Canyon looking landscape. That's kind of where I grew up. That's in my blood, that red dirt farmland on the plains. And Matt grew up here, which is just the beginning of that like southern foresty area. So there's lots of green and trees and city and concrete. And as an adult transplanting from the deserty west to the city and foresty feel of the Dallas area was a culture shock for me. So I can't imagine what it would be like to be a child who is in just an upheaval of a life right now. Like your parents' rights have been terminated. You're living in a hopefully wonderful but temporary foster home with other kids that you don't know, and then all of a sudden some people want to adopt you, so you have to move across the country. I can't imagine what that would feel like. So these statistics of like state and region are really important to me, because I just want to help create the best foundation and stability for these kids in what's going to be a crazy transition in their life. Anyway, that was a lot to say that there are about 1,200 kids just in our region waiting to be adopted. The other statistics I have on these kids, this is just the statistics for waiting children. About 70%, wrong, back up. 57% of them are aged 4 to 11, and 23% of them are aged 12 to 17. So what we're hoping for is elementary aged kids, because that's kind of the stage of life we should be in, right? Like all of our peers' kids are like that middle elementary, 3rd or 4th grade. So if we could get kiddos between the ages of 5 and 10, we would be so excited. We actually are hoping for a sibling set of 2. And I want a little girl because I want bows. And since we have the luxury of getting to kind of be matched with our children, I get to say, yeah, I want at least a girl because I want bows. So that's kind of a perk that I get. So that's our hope is for siblings out of 2 between the ages of 5 and 10. However, our home and our car could fit 3. So we're open to 3, but hoping for 2. Just kind of depends on what matches with us perfectly. More statistics about these kiddos that are waiting. About 60% of them are children of color and 40% of them are Caucasian or white kiddos. We don't care. We don't care at all. In fact, I have family members that are Asian. I have family members that are Indian. I have family members that are Black. So it's whatever, you know, like they will fit in by not fitting in. So that's not important to us. I just kind of wanted to let you guys know what the statistics are out there. And then of all those kids, 70% of them, which is a crazy number to me, are a sibling set of 3 or more. It breaks my heart. I've been looking at the Adopt US Kids, and the Texas equivalent of that is called TARE, Texas something, the TARE website. Yeah, there's groups of like 5, and I'm like, yes, I want them. But we can't. Yes, give me 6. But I can't. 3 fits in our car. We currently have a 3-bedroom home with an office. That it could be a bedroom, but it doesn't have a closet. So, but it does have doors. So we just would have to get a wardrobe like from IKEA or something. Anyway, I'm getting there. That's a whole nother segment. Still getting through the statistics, going on tangents. Not me. Another thing is, every agency is different, right? And what they offer and their support systems and how quickly you're matched, and the fine tuning of the paperwork that you have to do and costs and all of that is all going to be state specific and agency specific. So some of these things won't apply to you if you're with a different agency in a different state. But our wait time, they said, is 12 months to 24 months from when we took our orientation, which was in late April, mid-April, April. So at first that's kind of discouraging, right? Because we're excited and we're ready and we're like, we want kids now. But if you think about it, this time that we're in right now in the process, a lot of people in the culture call it paper pregnancy because we're waiting, right? And we're expectant, and I am definitely nesting. Wait, in the video, I will show you. It's crazy. And so there is this anticipation, and our family's excited, and it's, I was really sad through our infertility journey, thinking that through adoption, I was going to miss this stage, that we were gonna apply to be foster to adopt parents, and because there's so many waiting kids, we would get placed like that. But now that I'm thinking about it and I'm really resonating in it, I'm glad that it's going to take a year to get a placement. It's helping me feel that primal connection to waiting and preparing for a child, just like a biological mom and family does. So it is the 12 to 24 months to receive a placement. That the extra year in there depends on your limitations to what type of children you will accept, meaning all those statistics I just told you. Because you are waiting to be matched, you can select. So if we wanted to say that we only want a sibling set of 3, all 3 boys, and we want them to be Asian, we could say that, and we could wait as long as it takes to find a set of 3 Asian boys to come and be our children. I just picked random things to say to you. Those are not our stipulations, but the more stipulations you have and the less percentage of availability of those kids that are out there, the longer you're going to wait. So far we've gone to the orientation, which is where I learned all of these statistics, which is amazing, right? To have sat through one 1-hour class And to have learned all of this, I already feel so prepared, even though I am not prepared at all, like not even a little bit. If I got placed with a kid today, it would be chaos. And our specific agency has a required reading. I feel like it's school, right? It's actually a book called The Connected Child, and it's by Karen Purvis. I have notes written down here. Purvis, Karen Purvis, I believe. She is a highly regarded doctor at Texas Christian University in child development and works really closely with the foster care system and kids from traumatic backgrounds. And in reading this book, again, I'm learning so much. We also are going to have to go through an extensive amount of training for lots of hours. I don't even know, like just one of the trainings we have to do is 3 full days. Like you come in from 8 to 5 for 3 days in a row. It's just one of the trainings, and it's like 6 months of trainings. So I know enough to know that I don't know anything yet. And I will greatly appreciate all of your fun tips, advice, and stories that you want to leave in the comments. It's so fun to connect with you guys. And we had to fill out a few papers already. One of them being that, yes, we went to orientation. Yes, we paid attention. We had to sign off on the fact that, like, we know what the wait time is going to be. We know the statistics of children's. We know the ages of children's. So you can, through the foster system, you can adopt infants. It is possible, but not with our agency. And we're okay with that. That's not our goal anyway. But that was one of the other things we had to sign off. Like, yes, we know that there's certain age limits. So with our specific agency, if you want to adopt a single child, the youngest that they will place is a 7-year-old. And that's not because they don't think that you can do it, or because it's because of the statistics on the waiting children. So they want to help place the 7-year-old and up. If you want a sibling set, the youngest would be 6 years old. So what does that mean? It means that of the sibling set, the oldest child would have to be at least 6 years old for them to place that sibling set with you. So yeah, you could get down to an infant if there's a sibling set of 4 and there's a 6-month-old and a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old and a 6-year-old. You could get that. But the lowest, oldest they would do is 6. And we're okay with that. Because again, what we talked about before even stepping foot into this orientation and getting to know this agency was that we wanted 5 to 10-year-olds. So we also filled out a pre-application form, which is crazy that you have to apply, but I get it because they want to make sure the whole process takes like 6 to 9 months, including intensive home studies and trainings, and they don't want you to go through that process, and they don't want to put their staff through that process just to get to the end and you be like, oh, but I wanted a baby. So there's a pre-application form just to make sure that your desires line up with their desires, and to make sure that there are some state regulations that you meet before they can move forward. So we filled that out and anxiously awaited, because it could take, with our agency, 2 weeks to get pre-approved or declined. So we filled that out, and we got the wonderful news that they are willing to let us apply, which that whole process takes about 6 months. So after that is when we decided to go ahead and tell our family, like, we had already told our parents kind of that we were looking into different agencies and going to orientations, because we wanted them to be inside the whole process with us. And then once we were approved to start our journey with this agency is when we told, like, siblings and grandparents and aunts and uncles and everything, just because we wanted to be certain our journey had started before including a large amount of people. And then the step that we're in right now, which is so hard to wait for, is our background checks. We submitted them to the agency last Tuesday. I don't know what their process is or how long they wait to actually submit them with the state before we move forward. And full transparency, because we're real and we are who we are and we're bringing you along on this journey, this is one of the places where we could get rejected. I know it's crazy. So the very first thing is that they will reject you for, anyone, is if you have any sort of domestic violence on your record, including that has to do with children. If you have any allegations of child abuse or neglect, that is a hard pass. No, you cannot get approved by state regulations. So we don't have that. We don't have any domestic violence on our record, on our history, on our past. And the second thing that will get you automatically no is if you have any felonies. So we are good there. Also, we don't have any felonies. No shame if you do. By state regulations, they say no. So we're good on both of those fronts. However, Matt does have a DWI from 10 years ago. It's, not anything that we are proud of by any means, but it did change his life. It turned his life around. Not that he was doing anything wrong or bad. He grew up as a Christian. He was kind of in like that little party phase, and it knocked him out of it. And because of that, that's actually how we met. We met at church after he decided, oh, DWI, I better get back to church. So, not proud of it or anything, but glad that it happened in his life. He wouldn't be who he is today without that past. It was 10 years ago. And so, depending on this agency, what their policy is and how they feel about that, we were very upfront. But that is another step where maybe they might say not today for us. And we would just start the process over and select another agency and keep going. So that's where we're at, and we're both really nervous because this is our first hump we have to get over. There are a couple more. In fact, Bella is one of them, which is so crazy to me because she is the sweetest, cutest little puppy. She keeps ringing her bell over there if you hear it. Oh, on cue. What a good girl. Because she wants to go outside and sit in the sun. But I'm talking to you, so she's going to have to wait. It's totally fine to have animals in your house as long as they're up to date with their vaccinations and all of that. But she is a pit bull, which is a restricted breed in many different places, in many different areas, apartments, housing situations, dog parks, etc. And some agencies don't allow pit bulls. So we'll see what happens when we come to that part of the process. And then the last hump that we'll have to get over is me. I do struggle with anxiety and depression, and I've told you guys this on the channel. In fact, that first video that I ever made, again, don't go watch it. It's truly awful. You won't last. I was real down in the dumps, and that's an issue. So they have to check with me and make sure that I am healthy and able to care for children. I used to take medication for it temporarily, so they'll want to dig into that background and talk to my doctors and my therapist and just make sure that I am a stable human to care for a child that's coming from a traumatic past. So we have humps, we have bumps in the road. It's not smooth sailing. We're not perfect, and they're not going to give us an A+ just right off the bat just because. So that's the journey. I am now going to go work on the rooms because it's chaos over there. I was going to take you and show you in this video, but it's already 25 minutes long, so I'm going to stop this here. I'm going to upload this. You guys will get to see it and comment, and I'm so excited. And then the next video I upload will definitely be an OCC boxing. Like, that's it. It's got to be at least every other time for right now. I need to get OCC stuff packed away, ready to take to the processing center. We've got to get that under control. And then the next video, I'm actually going to go shoot it right now. So I'll still be in this get up, and it's going to be just like 5 minutes from now, but a couple weeks for you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you along and show you the chaos this has caused in our home. Because right now, like I said, we have 3 bedrooms, and one of them was a craft room, one of them was an OCC room, and one of them is our master. So I have to take all of my stuff, like hoarder style amounts of stuff, guys, I'm not kidding, out of these rooms, reorganize them, and cram them all into my office, which is like it's a decent sized room, I'm not gonna lie, but much smaller than either of the other 2, and I have to take 2 of them into one. So it's crazy in there, and I want to document it for you and for me, because I want to look back on this time and see it from a different perspective. They're on this journey of waiting to get to hug my kids for the first time, waiting to get to be called mom, waiting to watch Matt pick his kids up from school. Just this journey that we've been waiting and waiting and waiting for. So I'm so excited that you're coming with me, and if this is your first time here and you found me through adoption, stay tuned, because I do this cool thing called OCC. You'll learn as videos come, but I'm so excited that you watched today and that you are here with me, because I need my friends. It's gonna be a journey. That's it for today, and in case no one has told you, I love you lots. Bye!